Hello and welcome back to Ganga Education. On this platform, you will find quality lectures relating to the field of law, competitive examination in legal domain, important legal facts and legal history, all explained in clear and structured manner. In today's video, we are going to discuss Uniform Civil Code Bill for Maharashtra 2026.
All right, today we're jumping right in to decode something that could be a massive game changer in Indian law, the Maharashtra Uniform Civil Code Bill of 2026. What's actually in it? What would it really change? And, why should you even care? Let's break it all down. This educational explainer is brought to you by Ganga Education.
So let's just start with a really big question. Imagine this. What if one single law, just one set of rules, governed marriage, divorce, and inheritance for every single citizen in a state, no matter what their religion is? That's the whole idea behind a uniform civil code, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack right now.
So here's our game plan. First up, we're going to tackle the why, the big idea behind all of this. Then we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of marriage, divorce, and inheritance. And to wrap it up, we'll look at how it would actually be rolled out and who might be exempt. Sound good? Let's go. Okay, so first things first, before we get lost in all the legal details, we've got to understand the problem this bill is trying to solve. Why is a Uniform Civil Code, or UCC, even being talked about in Maharashtra? What's the point? Now, what's really fascinating is that this isn't some brand new idea. Nope. It's actually rooted right in the Constitution of India. Article 44 is what's called a directive principle. It's basically a goal the country is supposed to work towards. And the people who wrote this bill point directly to this article as their guiding light. The bill lays out exactly what it's trying to fix. Think about it. When you have different laws for different communities, you automatically get inequality. It's confusing for people, it can cause social friction, and sometimes it leaves women and children without enough protection. Plus, it can clog up the whole justice system. The goal here is pretty simple. Streamline everything and create a level playing field. So how does the bill actually do that? Well, the first huge piece of the puzzle is marriage. It sets out one single framework for everyone, and this is where you start to see some really big changes. The bill basically boils it all down to three core conditions. First, every single marriage has to be registered. No exceptions. If it's not registered, it's not legally valid. Second, there are strict minimum ages. And third, it's a one-spouse policy. The bill explicitly bans having more than one spouse at a time, so no polygamy or polyandry. For men, the bill sets the minimum age for marriage at 21. Clean and simple. This creates one standard across the board, getting rid of any confusion from older community-specific laws. And for women, the age is set at 18. Now, the key thing here isn't just the number itself, but the fact that it's uniform. This one rule replaces a whole patchwork of different age requirements that used to exist under various personal laws. The bill also wades into modern relationships. For live-in partners, registering is totally optional. But, and this is a really important part for Social Security, if a child is born from a registered live-in relationship, that child gets full legal rights, just like a child from a marriage. And of course, it's totally forbidden if either person is a minor. Right, so if the bill creates one set of rules for getting married, it makes sense that it does the same for when a marriage ends. The next major area it tackles is divorce, and the whole aim is to create one fair process for absolutely everyone. This right here is the heart of it. Under this bill, the reasons you can seek a divorce, the rules for alimony, and how child custody is decided would be the exact same for every single citizen in Maharashtra. The law just wouldn't see religion in these matters anymore. And this focus on equality pops up everywhere. The bill is clear. No gender discrimination when it comes to alimony. Both parents get equal consideration for child custody. And marital property has to be divided fairly. It's all about leveling that legal playing field. Okay, now we get to what a lot of people think is the single biggest change in this entire bill, inheritance. This is a big one because it takes on some very old traditions about who gets what when someone passes away. And there it is, simple, powerful, and for many, revolutionary. Under this bill, sons and daughters are equal heirs, period. This one sentence is designed to completely undo traditions in various personal laws where inheritance was often tilted heavily based on gender. So who gets these equal rights? The bill is super clear. It's the surviving spouse, all the children, and let me say it again, sons and daughters equally, and the parents of the person who passed away. This creates one uniform line of succession for everybody. So we've covered the what, now let's get into the how. How would this thing actually work in the real world? Who does it apply to? What laws does it get rid of? And are there any exceptions to the rule?
This is a really important clarification that the bill makes. It's designed to govern civil matters only, the legal nuts and bolts of family life. It very clearly says it will not touch a citizen's religious beliefs, how they worship, or their personal rituals. The goal is legal unity, not religious unity.
Now just take a look at this list. It gives you a real sense of the sheer scale of the change we're talking about. For this new code to work, it has to replace the old personal laws within Maharashtra. This table shows some of the major laws for marriage, divorce, and inheritance that would basically be switched off in the state if this bill passes.
Now, it's not a blanket law for everyone and everything right away. There are 3 key things to know. First, it won't initially apply to members of scheduled tribes. Second, it's not retroactive, which means it doesn't affect any marriages or divorces that happened before the law was passed. And finally, remember, this is a state law. Its power stops at the borders of Maharashtra.
So, if you boil it all down, what's the ultimate goal? It's pretty clear. One state with one consistent set of civil laws for family matters. And the 2 big ideas driving it all are equality for every citizen and making the legal system way, way simpler. And that brings us to the end. The Maharashtra UCC bill is a really significant move. And it leaves us with one final big question to think about. As one major state takes this huge step towards a uniform code, what does that mean for the future of personal law across the rest of India? It's a massive question and a great place to leave it. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Thank you for watching this session. If you found this lecture useful, do like, share and subscribe to Ganga Education. Keep learning, keep growing and stay connected for more law lectures.